Rocket Pat here. Alright guys, there's your winner of the 2019 I'm sorry, not Daytona, but Indianapolis 500. Got a Chevrolet in the winner's spot. So there's 500 of our 1,100 miles of racing that we got today. But I found some Formula One, Monte Carlo. I don't know how many miles are going there. They don't speak miles over there. It's some sort of kilometer or something like that. I don't know, man. It's like a half mile to our mile. I don't know, man. Just call it a mile, man. We know how far that is, 5,280 feet. All right, guys, let's get over here and start seeing what we're going to do with our 1954 Bel Air two-door hardtop. All right, so the goal here is that we want to get this antiquated front suspension out from underneath this thing. And I guess really the truth of the matter is not so much that I'm not in love with the suspension, but we've got this center link pitman arm kind of thing going on here. I got a steering box up underneath here that's kind of in my way to drop the engine down lower, causes issues. So I decided I was going to pick myself up one of them Mustang 2 front end clips to put in this car so that, well, you know, that way we can get proper brakes on it and all that. And I called the guy on putting a disc brake kit on this car, and what I found out was the issue was that the brake hose right here where it goes into the caliper would hit the spring or somehow on this thing, and they just refused to sell them anymore because of that fact. So first thing I'm going to do here is this whole front K-member is bolted to the frame. There's 2 bolts right here, 2 bolts right here for the sway bar, and another 2 bolts right here and here. Okay, so once I get those out, this whole K-member will come out, and I also got to get the brake hose loose. And I started out this with, I bought a kit off of eBay, and it came with this cross member and top hat. And what I didn't like about it was it wasn't notched at all. So to me, it's pretty much, this is just like a universal fit to this car. Even though they said that it was supposed to fit this car, well, it doesn't fit the car. This is a Helix front end kit, and I don't know if all the Helixes are this way or if it was just this one, but it's not notched here to fit into the frame. It's not notched on the top hat to fit. All that has to be figured out, calculated, find the center line. So what I would have had to do was put the car on jack stands, plumb bob off the body or something to get a center line of my wheel, drawn a line on the ground going across from side to side, make sure that that line doesn't move, and then figure out how high, where to cut this thing to notch it. It just turned into a big, you know what, I really don't want to mess with that. So over there at Wayne's Work, he told me, I don't know if y'all watch his Wayne's Works, he's got a 54, and I think he had the Helix kit, but I just haven't found a instructions on exactly where to cut this or any of this kind of stuff. So we were talking on another video, and he found a link. He supplied me with a link that had a bolt-in kit for this car that was a reasonable price, and I found that, and it was at Gearhead Enterprises, where I got my last kit from. And so I decided I was going to buy that, and that's what I have right here. This is actually a TCI kit, and all I did was just bought the cross member. Cost me about $300 extra from over what I'd already had. And what's going to happen is you can see the frame plate I don't know if we're going to be able to see it, but these two bolts are going to line up with bolts that I take out right now. Okay, I'll have to drill this one possibly, or one in the back, I don't know. I'll figure out exactly what I got to do. But the hats are already cut and notched exactly the way they need to be, so that's going to make life a whole lot easier when it's time to weld it in. Now the tops have to be welded, but the bottom bolts in. Now yeah, there's still some have the fiddle fart, but once I find center line of the cross member here, okay, once I find my center line, I'll be able to take a center line of this and line those two up, and that'll locate these for my top hats, and I'll weld these in. I'll probably end up, before it's all said and done, weld that in too. But what I like about it is it utilizes bolt holes that are already in the chassis to line this up, so that I know when I put everything together, my wheels are going to be in the center of my wheel arch. All right, guys, well, that's it. It is Sunday, day before Memorial Day. Y'all take a little bit of time this weekend and remember all the people that lost their lives making the freedom that we have today, keeping us free. Wherever it may be in the free world, somebody has lost their life so that you can stand around and bitch and complain and do whatever we want to do. So y'all remember that. This is not a party weekend. I don't really understand why, on what's supposed to be a somber weekend, why everything's got to be, it's the time to come down here and buy a new mattress, come buy a new car. It's, you know, it's all about everything but what it's supposed to be about. And there's a lot of dead people that risked their lives and lost them so that we can have the freedom that we enjoy. And you know, we all just need to think about that. It's not a weekend to go out and party and get drunk and have a good time and all that. I mean, I ain't saying don't have a good time, but try to remember what this weekend's all about and everything. Well, anyway, guys, you guys keep rocking and a-rolling and a-rolling and a-rocking, and I'm gonna start yanking this all stuff down. Talk to y'all next time.